Okay. Now we know about you because Mom has said too choosy and the brothers are too swift. Now we know you're not dating.
Right.
Let's see what we can do with this group when we return.
Sargento's shredded natural cheese makes any dish easy to prepare and impossible to resist.
I got so carried away when I was talking about Deborah Norville. It was her baby shower, not her bridal shower. So we went from a baby shower, now we're having bridesmaids who really, honestly, beneath all of this discussion of what it's like, and that ought to turn you off of accepting bridesmaids jobs for a long time, they really do want to get married. And my next guests say there is no excuse if you're always the bridesmaid, never the bride. They say anyone can find a lifelong mate. Now this is George and Cathy Dubec. They are a husband and wife team that teaches singles how to find mates. That's right, you send your kids to school for this. And where are you operating? Because I have a number of unmarried children that I would like to send over. Now you know why I do these shows, right? I get to know you agree. George and Cathy, what are the women doing wrong? Feel free to just say whatever you'd like to say.
Well, first of all, they're spending too much time planning other people's wedding and their wedding and not planning on what type of man that's going to fit into their lifestyle.
Right.
That's
In other words, they spend hours doing other people's weddings and even their own, and they're not concentrating on who he's just a figure, Ken
it's
doll.
just a man, yeah.
A Ken doll. Bring in Ken and we'll put him on top of the wedding cake, right?
Right.
Okay.
What we teach is to develop a plan, and then we teach methods and techniques on how to find the right person in your life. And there is someone for everyone, believe me. No matter how old you are, how much money you have, what you look like, there is somebody for everybody. But it's your responsibility to find that person. And
Once
basically,
you find him, then what?
okay, that's
Well,
the
no,
other
let's
thing.
put her on hold because we'll work through the process, if that's all right with you.
Yeah.
We'll work through the process of starting beginning to end. Now, do you two agree that this is a very attractive panel of women?
Sure, they're great. They're very attractive young ladies, but the key ingredient to be attractive only means you have more opportunities. But again, it doesn't matter what you look like, how much money you have. It's learning methods, techniques, knowing what you want. That's a key ingredient, and then going out and taking responsibility to get it. That's all.
What would be, for the ones that do, the three that do not have boyfriends, what are they doing wrong? I mean, what were some of the things that people do?
They're not meeting enough men. They're saying they're turned off by dating. You have to go out and meet a lot of people because there's only like 1% that's an ideal person for you. So you have to meet a lot of men.
Well, you said you're the first date queen of...
No, I meet a lot of people when I go out.
Well, and there's one other ingredient. Not only do you have to meet a lot of men, but you have to learn how to get rid of a lot of men. And that's what we teach. That's a key ingredient. In fact, you know, in the stock market, you know, stockbrokers, they have a thing called churning. We teach people how to churn. You know what I mean? You get rid of them.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have any hints for how these women should meet, the ones that need it, how do they meet men? Give me just
Okay,
some...
all right. We teach a technique, and anybody can do this and meet somebody within 30 seconds, okay? We recommend that our students get what are called social cards. Little card with their name, their phone number, and a little symbol in the left-hand corner. Now, I'll show you the technique, okay? All right, let's say I'm going to meet Kristen here. I'm sitting I'm at the post office, all right? So I go over to her and I say, hello, how are you? My name is George Dubec. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Kristen.
Well, Kristen, here, listen, let me give you one of my cards. And I see you're here today mailing some packages. And then I have a little brief conversation, and what I have done is I've given her my card with my number. Now, no matter what transpires between us, if there's a mutual interest there, she's going to contact me.
I would.
You can meet somebody in a post office, a grocery store, whether you're male or female, in 30 seconds.
Oh, my goodness.
You get cards made out.
That's right.
You hand cards out to people, kind of like selling yourself. But how many guys are going to respect someone? I come up to you and say, babe, my card.
You got to do it in a very sophisticated way.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't go up to him and say that.
Yeah, you don't go up and say, hey, babe.
Another guy in the boys' room, they're like, like, hey, we got Karen
No, wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. Did I approach Kristen like that? I didn't approach Kristen like, hey, babe, here's my card.
Everybody, Karen, he's right. There's a way of doing things, and
Yeah.
we're going to help you.
It depends
You
upon
do not do, hey,
depends on the presentation of
yeah, you
yourself.
do not do, hey, babe, okay?
I'd like to ask you ladies, where do you go out to meet men?
What was that?
Where do you go out to meet men?
They're not. That's 3 of the ones who do not have a boyfriend tell us that they're not dating at all. They have no
Mr.
one.
Dubec, where should you go to
That
meet?
doesn't mean we don't have
Well, all right, one of the things, all right, if you're a single person,
bars. I go bowling with my kids.
Yeah.
You know?
And I
You say kids, it
my
sounds...
high school. My
Yeah,
boys, my
but,
posse, my...
no, it sounds like you... Wait a minute.
all right,
I go to
but Karen, let me ask you a question. When you go out, or you're out for a couple hours, how many men do you make contact with?
A lot of people. I'm very friendly.
Well, but how
I'm not
many?
allowed
I
to
mean,
get
what
picked
we
up by
teach people how to do is you set a goal. When you go to a party, you're there for 2 hours, you should make contact with at least 10 to 15 or maybe 20 men. Now, when I was single, I used these techniques back when I was single, and you have to set a goal. When you go out and you have your cards, you put 20 cards in your purse, and you say, I'm going to give out 20 cards tonight within 2 hours.
Let's,
And that's
wait, let's,
All right,
Lisa...
I have a comment on the cards. 'Cause I meet a lot of men, and they pass you these cards, and it's like, okay, what number am I? How many cards has he given out? And when I
But
get
that's
the
what it-
card,
okay.
But that's the whole thing. It is the numbers. It doesn't matter. The end result is that you have the man of your dreams, correct? It doesn't matter if you ask him to marry you know, whatever.
Okay.
You want a relationship,
Let
right?
me take control here for a
Right.
minute. First of all, Karen, you said my children. Please, would you all stand up? These are... These are Karen's children. They're all cheerleaders from the basketball team, right? Football team. Boy, have you got a lot of hair. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. George and Cathy, some things. Cathy, I don't know if I believe this. Did you say that women need to know that men are pigs?
Yeah. I really believe that women really don't realize that men are pigs. And I want to clarify that they overindulge in sex, overeating, work, everything that they do. And the women really don't understand why they do it. And they always want to change the man. And I bring that out when we teach. That the men are pigs. So they realize that, because we were talking backstage, and they say, oh, well, we have to be like, you know, ornaments and all this, and that's what the men want. They want physical attractiveness in a mate.
All right, now, let us say, for our women who have boyfriends, how do you got this boyfriend, it's fine, how do you get him to marry you?
You got to do subtle pressures. That's what I did to get this guy. After 3 months, I asked what the relationship status was. He says, okay, we're boyfriend and girlfriend. He asked me to marry me on my birthday in August, which was 8 months. And as soon as I got the ring, I said, when? And he just like looked at me, what do you mean when? I said, hey, I got you, let's get married. And how I got him to marry me in a short time, I said, if you marry me now, I'm a tax deduction. So
That's
he married me.
true. She played to the economic factor,
Now,
and it works.
she's had her boyfriend how long?
3 years.
What's wrong with what she's doing? She's
Okay.
had her boyfriend
The
3
main
years.
ingredient here is that there are decision points in every relationship as it is being developed. And the thing to do is at each critical stage, okay, I don't have time to explain them all now, but when you're with somebody at least a year's period of time, at that point, we tell people to express themselves how they feel about the person.
Oh,
You
I
should tell
do.
your boyfriend that I really love you, I care about you. Then you say, how do you feel about me? All right? What does he say?
Oh, he expresses himself all the time. He tells me that he loves me and he wants to marry me, but
Okay, then say, let's get married. And what does he say?
he says, well, we should wait till you graduate. We should wait till we have, you know, the finance.
So really,
Well,
he's just making excuses.
Right, he's just making
Pretty much.
excuses. So
let me- I
what
just
she
want
should
to
say at
stop
this
this.
point is she should say, well, listen, I need to move on with my life. I want a serious relationship, and evidently we're not in sync with each other, so I'm going to move on. And you just get rid of them.
By the way,
right then and there.
I think they're
And
right.
leave it up to him.
Question.
I have a couple comments about the cards. First of all, I work in a bar, and women bartenders, if they get guys giving them cards, that's the last thing they want to see. They don't want to see cards, they turn away. And as far as dating people, you just have to take it calm. If you go out planning on meeting somebody to marry, you're never gonna meet anybody. You just gotta take it
Okay.
relaxed.
All right, wait a minute. No,
We'll take a break. We'll be right back.